Yo, we are back with another episode of Run the Ropes Media Podcast. And this one right here, I feel like is finally, something good is finally coming out of what the fans have been saying to WWE over the last couple weeks, man. And but before we even talk about the person, and most of y'all should already know, but this person just seems so genuine, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like just listening to the posts that he's been making over the last couple weeks, like this man really wants this push just as much as we want it, and I'm happy to see that he's getting it. But also, he's a man for the people. I'm gonna continue to autograph these books like I promised. Y'all been asking for my merch. I made some calls, and because of us, it's happening, and he's gracious of that, man. So for those who don't know who we talking about Karrion Kross. Now, I've been watching Karrion Kross since his NXT days. And my man's was a beast in NXT, former NXT heavyweight champion. And once they brought him up to the main roster, this was still around the time where Vince was still in charge. They didn't really know what to do with Karrion Kross. You know, they had him with like what was the team back in the day? Demolition. It was like they kind of had him with like the mask, and they had him with like the chains and like the leather. Like it just wasn't Karrion Kross. So they let him go. They brought him back. They put him with the Final Testament, and then nothing happened. But it always seemed like Karrion Kross was a Triple H guy. You know, Triple H brought him back, but they haven't been doing anything with him. And the fans have been wanting this. And truth be told, bro, like I'm happy that Karrion made it through that last, set of releases, because no, they haven't been utilizing them. But I mean, man, everything happened for a reason, bro. So it seemed like he will be getting this push. Well, how you feel about it?
I want you guys to do yourself a favor, and if you haven't watched the little documentary that he posted on his YouTube account over WrestleMania weekend, go watch it. Because man, is this guy a storyteller. I mean, from his cadence to how he speaks to how he can like come up with something on the fly and kind of just like put everything into this perspective, and it makes you so intrigued to be like, damn, bro, this guy is like captivating. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You need to go watch that because, over the WrestleMania weekend, he kind of did the behind the scenes over his GCW stuff, or Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, I should say, which I think, he does have that kind of style, which actually plays pretty good into that as well.
Yeah.
But, bro, masterminds behind like developing this, like, I don't know if you want to use the word aura or just like this mystique behind like who he is, right? I thought he did excellent in that documentary. And then he goes ahead and he cuts one of his obviously his greatest promo, but one of the better promos that we've heard out of anybody.
Bro. That was his pipe bomb.
Yes.
He had his pipe bomb moment. Yep. And it was because of that pipe bomb moment, I feel like the lens went from these superstars to, bro, this man is, what do I tell you, Dylan? I say when you cross the line between professional wrestling and just reality and truth, it hits. Because when these superstars get on here and tell us the truth, we feel it. My man was like, I got the #1 selling t-shirt. Yep. And I ain't on WrestleMania weekend. Like, what are y'all doing?
Yep.
And sometimes it takes the balls. Some of these guys don't have the balls to really speak up for themselves.
I agree.
And that's why you have some of these guys who doing characters that they might not want to do, or going in a direction that they don't want to go in because they in WWE and they know that this is where you want to end off, but it's just like they just take anything. I mean, we just gonna take what you give us. He like, nah, bro, like pay attention. And then again, like you said, bro, his cadence, his just the storytelling, like it was like they always planted little seeds but they never put any water down to let him grow. From the stuff with Rey Mysterio he was doing, from the stuff with New Day he was doing, he was, he had a couple interactions with Sami Zayn. It was like nothing stuck. But he did say this, and I don't know if you guys seen his IG post where, again, he was just thanking the fans and just letting us know, man, my merch ain't been in a live audience where you can purchase since NXT. So this is big. He also said, make sure you watch Main Event tonight with a smile on his face. And then he also said, see y'all Monday with a smile on his face. What that mean, I don't know, but I feel like he's going to have some TV time. Finally. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I feel like WWE took a major L on Dakota Kai, and they didn't listen to the fans. The fans wanted Dakota Kai. And maybe had they listened, she probably would still be there. Now I feel like you got another superstar that's basically like, not begging, but basically just like, I'm here. The people want me to be a champion. They want me here. Like, why y'all not giving the people what they want? He said they finally listened, and it's because of us that this is starting to happen. So I hope that they don't drop the ball. Don't Dakota Kai yourself again, WWE. We wanted her to be the women's IC champion. Y'all didn't give it to her. Months later, we no longer have her with us in WWE. Don't do Karrion Kross like that as well. The man is over, and he don't even have matches on Monday Night Raw. So that's telling y'all something right there. Listen to us, and let's see where this goes.
Yeah, I mean, just pleading his case, right? Just pleading for that opportunity to show what he can actually do. Now, I don't know why. I've always had respect for people who can go out on their own and try to like make something of themselves. And this is like one of those scenarios where they were literally doing nothing with him, and he just said, I'm just going to make my own stuff and see how it and see where it goes, right? And I kind of already touched on this with you, right? I don't know where certain things are in people's contracts where they're like where or how they can make content on their own, right? Because me and you already talked about it. Like a lot of the people who have been really starting up YouTube channels, you see them on podcasts, you see them doing a lot more interviews. I don't know why they're not doing that while they're in WWE. Maybe they're not allowed to.
Remember, that was a big thing, though. That was a big thing with Zelina Vega, because she had her Twitch account, and like I remember something with her Twitch account. Mandy Rose, her doing her outside things.
That's a little different.
that was a little different too. But I mean, I still feel like whenever they outside making their own bread, it's almost like WWE, like, we need a piece of that because you getting money because you are a WWE superstar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, but I know Karrion Kross was doing some things like movies and like side projects and like ghost stuff with Scarlett. So sometimes they see these things, bro.
Yeah.
And they see the dollar signs. When they making money on their own outside of the company, I don't want to say probably look at them like, oh man, like we need to jump on that before we lose them. But they like, man, we need a piece of that pie too. Yeah. And that's probably what they doing. Cause again, he's over outside the ring and he's over in the ring, and they ain't even giving him the time of day. So I think they see something that they don't want to lose, number one. And number two, what I thought about as well, bro, I kind of looked at Matt Cardona, right? Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder.
He's the template.
Say that again?
He's the template for all this.
He's the template, but if y'all Pete, he even said, I will come back to WWE, but they ain't reached out.
Yeah.
And you would have thought that they would have reached out by now. And I was thinking like, man, maybe when Karrion got released, he didn't go out on the indies and like really make a huge major name for himself. But even when you got people who have done it, aka Matt Cardona, they still ain't bring him in. Like they making bread off his wife. But in theory, WWE, I don't care what wrestlers say, bro. In theory, WWE is definitely the place that most want to land. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just happy for Karrion. I like people who I feel like are great, genuine people outside of the ring too.
I agree. But here's the thing with him is he took this into his own hands. Yes, he's been getting good reactions, from the fans, but it's been this slow build. He took it upon himself to make that documentary, hire outside people, edit the
Mm-hmm.
whole thing, have photographers, have
Yep.
filmers, right? He did all that stuff. This
Mm-hmm.
wasn't, done by
Yep.
WWE. He decided he wanted to showcase what he's about. So he did this. Then I don't know how much of it was like, "Hey, can I show up on that Raw or WrestleMania recap or whatever that one was. I forget if it was a Raw recap or WrestleMania recap.
It was Raw recap with Sam Roberts.
Sam Roberts shows up on there and cuts his best promo of his entire career, one of the better promos that we've seen out of anybody. And why was that? You touched on it. We already touched on it with Becky Lynch. It's when they blur the lines between what is real and what
Mm-hmm.
is not.
Yep.
And as long as the viewer says, "Damn, bro, like was that
Was
a
it a
shoot?
shoot
Is he
or was he
actually
like?
mad?
Oh yeah, is he?
Is he gonna get in trouble for
himself?
this?"
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's what makes us intrigued. And then what happened after that? He did this interview on Raw. Again, no matches, no actual in-ring or backstage segments, but apparently I don't even know if it was shown on Netflix in US because when I was watching that Raw, I never
I
even
didn't
saw it.
see it. Yeah.
But I know in overseas
It
or
was
in
like New
different
Zealand or something. I don't know. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they do, like, the interviews, right, where they're, at the top of, like, the
Mm-hmm.
balcony on the arena or whatever
Yeah.
with Kathy Kelly or somebody else, and, again, the crowd reactions, man, like,
Mm-hmm.
they've always talked about this in WWE. Who has the keys to the kingdom? The fans. But why do they not choose to listen to the fans with certain people? I feel like finally now he took it into his own hands, and the fans are saying, "Y'all better give this guy
Yeah.
some shine here."
Before
If he
somebody
goes
else
out
pick him up,
if he goes out and he fails, fine, but at
mm-hmm.
least give
Give him
him the
a chance. Yep.
opportunity,
Yep.
and that's all
Yep.
we ask as
Yep.
the fans, and I'm glad that finally it seems like they are going to listen, which
Yeah.
is all you can ask for at the end of the day.
So we got to make sure we stay tuned for Monday Night Raw. Again, Karen said, "Hey, tap in, check out Monday Night Raw." So I feel like he will have some kind of presence.
Yep.
And where just let's make it make sense. WWE. Let's make it make sense. And I feel like he will be a good tweener as far as crossing the line between heel and face because he's still gonna get cheered. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? He's gonna get cheered. So y'all let us know. Let us know in the comment section below about the Karrion Kross push. That's I feel like it's well needed. I feel like his first stint when he came up to the main roster, he didn't have a fair chance to like really show who he was. And even when he came back, still haven't. So we rooting for you over here, Karrion. We rooting for you over here, and bro. When you become a world champion, IC champion, US champion, we want to have the first interview over here, bro. So let us know. Tap in with us in the comment section below. Anything else, bro?
That's it, man. Stay tuned for all of our content. We just made a TikTok page, so make sure you guys go follow us over on TikTok. We're on the Ropes Media, same as everything else, IG, everything. So, yeah, that's it, man.
And other than that, you got your boy Break.
Yeah, Dylan.
And we out.
Peace.
Peace.